power with instant people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 million and pregnant of marketeers, splitting runners, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there, but everything is long before carrying the benefit up. Because we are close.
Talking to the president, it's not a good thing. Yes. They're happy. Saying that you, my mother, your mama, happy to you. When you are not going to betray your Yakoluma, or betray the great people in life today. Yakoluma, not coming to
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they did, when they did, yes, what kind of people what kind of people? Freedom fighter, you raping our people. Freedom fighter, you killing our children. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came,
hello.
When they came,
my son, you made a mistake. I heard you last night. Absolutely, after the whole election at Ima Kono, if you hear my preaching, no family will conclude that I'm right. Will you rescue as a preacher after winning? The broadcast, I don't even answer my phone, don't pick me up, you don't let me down, they really have time. I don't talk, because God know why it's happening. And everything I will accept it because our son who is vice president to him from Minda, the Minda will not understand the taxation on Britain. The Senate got a type of Britain. When we have vote, the Senate takes a complete report of their funding and attack the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position statement for those commissioners who decided from Guardian to where and said the way forward is the power he is by coming there, but they belong there, don't be there, and you know where you just thinking all kind of way better. You want to go after people? You know the city so they went away for the people. They did that's the only problem.
Yeah.
Then they said Then something happens, Why are they almost trying to a zombie house? Then the brother asking the money. They had it for me. Then when I heard what was happening, there was only 2 persons to sign. I was me, I was Banny. Jim Banny. But when I went to school, I know what is going on. You were there when we had paper, and you were there with our own directors, and we sent the report with all the documents, legal documents, to carry it. Then what I've been set up on the 20th position by the Supreme Court to be involved in the year 2011, and you will have to run with that. You're right. He does for that.
You're right.
The other president, I'm going to tell you now, the president now, we finish campaign for that kind of woman, and he wants to do it. That's one of the people. So what is going on with Ekun? Ekun said, well, I'm going to do it.
One more freedom, my son. One more freedom,
Oh, yes, indeed. What a great day. What a wonderful opportunity it feels to be here, back and behind these microphones, to engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development.
What kind of people this? They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you breaking our homes.
Freedom fighters.
You leaving our people homeless.
In our country. They are freedom fighters.
What kind of people they saw? When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. But when it came their time, they're raping our women. They're breaking our homes. And they're being very rude. They're taking contracts from Liberia, outsourcing them, giving them to foreigners. They're giving our lands to
when they were coming, they said they were liberators.
To foreigners. What kind of people they saw? When they were coming, they said they were a rescue mission.
They changed their mind.
But when it came their time, they changed their mind.
They changed their mind. What kind of people they saw? They are freedom fighters.
Oh yeah, Caesar Gato from Grand Bassa County.
Are you raping our women? They are freedom fighters.
What a song.
Our children. They are freedom.
Befitting the moment. Whenever you hear this tune, it is a reminder that the nation's biggest and most listened to breakfast conversation on Freedom 87.9 is on. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Liberia. Just wherever you are this morning, under our voice, by the way, we'd like to welcome all of you to this intriguing conversations about the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. Good morning to our friends, our followers, and to those of you in the diaspora. It's always a good thing to have you join us. There are too many things to talk about, lots of things happening in Liberia. Yes, indeed. This is where you get the analysis of those issues without fear nor favor. We speak truth to power, unfiltered in most instances. Yes, this morning, as they are unprecedented, uninterrupted wave of land grab engulf residents and of course the people of Monrovia and its surroundings. As private individuals from far and near, begun using our court system to lay claim to property long owned and possessed by other Liberians who build themselves, build their family, build their businesses for some 30 years, others 50, more or less. And in the rescue mission, these gains have been reversed as bulldozers, front-end loaders, and other heavy-duty earth-moving equipment have been used to tear homes apart, break businesses down. And when the president is asked about the situation, he shows no empathy. Absolutely no empathy. He gives a rousing and an overwhelming endorsement of these actions. And so we continue to see them from one area to the other, from one community to the next.
Music.
So whether it's the public attempt to reclaim or reopen alleyways, or is some other private individual, the matter in Satan is yet to be resolved. The government has moved in with no form of relief. Parents, babies, mothers, and fathers lying in the streets in their own country, having been bulldozed from their homes. This is what's going on in Liberia under the 80-plus-year-old Baptist deacon. Some say he is a heartless old man. Others say he is an unfulfilled man who does not understand the magnitude of what it means to build your life and establish something for yourself and get robbed broadly. So a man who has not achieved, who has not fulfilled, only had to become president before he can surreptitiously embark on a massive construction of some 10 million mansion in 4 years. People get bad, man. They be describing the president. I listened to the guy from Soup. So very condescending. But anyway, others say these are very befitting characterization of the man occupying the executive mansion. I don't know what you think. Our job is to relay, and that's exactly what we're doing without fear nor favor. Of course, right here on the big station, Freedom 87.9. So we talk about this whole land issue. Say our thoughts about them. The New Georgia is the latest on the block. The rumor about how you call it, Johnsonville. I think something have started there, and an even bigger one is pending. The 540 Peace Island community, something is also smelling around that place. It's gonna go down to the wire. Yesterday in Bon County, health workers were seen on video outraged, angry, moving up and down, locking the offices of hospital administrators, and it became a scene as they decry abandonment, unpaid wages, indecent working environment at the Phoebe Hospital there in Swakoko. Violence and brutality continue under the watch of the old 80-plus Baptist deacon. And so we continue to see matters of the yellow machine. One Ivory Coast, right here, next door. The people of Ivory Coast are preparing to commission what will become the tallest building on the continent. Officials of the Bwakai government are wearing yellow coats and dressed in yellow to celebrate a few pieces of yellow machine. Yellow machines with old trucks, refurbished trucks, water trucks, and some Chinese pickups that came through the ports. And somebody said we should celebrate, and if you don't celebrate, that means you're unpatriotic. How can we ever be unpatriotic of asking the hard questions of accountability, transparency in the acquisition process? That of the folks, those who want to call others unpatriotic for asking the hard questions around the yellow machine, are the very people who were lobbying against their government for sanctions, lobbying against aid to come to Liberia. So what is more unpatriotic? We are never on record of campaigning against the country, but these scalawags in power today were here, and the records are clear. They were even prepared to wage war on Liberia. The senior official of this narcissist regime threatening justices in this country more, for example. So how can anybody be more unpatriotic than these idiots in power, thinking that the country belongs to them and that it all stopped because one old, unfulfilled, passive, weak, dummy old man become president, and so everybody should shut up. Who told you that? We are not going to shut up. Anybody? Who is the man? Who is a Joe Bwakai? An unaccomplished, unfulfilled squanderer from Wansonga. My name is Abu, and of course, these are the shape and size of the conversation right here on the big stage. Freedom 87.9. I pump the volume up and let them catch feelings. Let them catch more feelings. Because we're here to say the truth and nothing but the truth. And they can't do a jing thing to anybody. Look, you got to wake up and stand up in the faces of these idiots and tell them that, look, this country does not belong to them. Not of this old man who was given all of the opportunity and he failed and squandered and stole and he's living on public land. And he is talking about, oh, God, I'm making new land. You irresponsibly live on public land and born all your children inhabiting an alley and a roundabout, and you sit opening your mouth when your army is moving in to grab people legitimate land from them. And you open your mouth and go and making new land. Okay, bars of this, and then we come back, we rumble through the issues right here on the big station. Freedom 87.9.
I'm a freedom fighter. Oh, I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a freedom fighter. It's about musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand for the right authority. Surely you can't take your love. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, I mean you cheche. Do well for your safety. If you see a don't keep it, you must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make a peace for them before.
Crime Stopper Liberia. Folks, welcome. And this is it. This is, of course, the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. Good morning to our taxi cab, our pimping riders, our keke, and, of course, bus driver as well, just wherever you are. This early morning, beginning your hustle. I know there's this issue about the, but we will talk about it more on tomorrow. The traffic management thing, this purported communication from the Minister of State. And, you know, since the guy became Minister of State, we have not really, look at him yet and consider other things, but tomorrow we'll see, because we're also hearing some stuff behind the scene. Before writing the communication, there was a situation on ground. So as a responsible and public official, you will want to exhaust that. You want to do something about that. And then when you're communicating about a matter, whether it's a position statement, it has to inform the public as to what effort have you made as an office with the the standoff that was existing. What am I trying to say? So the public, the traffic management people and MDMC and the Ministry of Transport has been embroiled in this triangular rigmarole over legitimacy on the whole driver license issuance and all of these things. So it has been there, right? But then you just issue a statement to say as of March 1, everybody should go. So, and then you're not telling us what happens, what are the actions that are informing. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. Leadership is very sweet, and it's not something that comes from the blue. You have to learn it, and you have to understand the science about leadership. And it is not confined to just a particular group of people, like some of our friends within the Unity Party organization try to make it seem that when you're aligned with the Unity Party, that means you're intelligent. That means you're smart. And people are so delusional in this thought that being Unity partisan means you have superior knowledge. And some of them are dummies. Some of them are the least of society. Some of them are flunkies from high school days, the college days. We know them. They're notorious flunkies, but because they're wearing green, so they surmise that they're intelligent. And then they also honor the illusion that anything CDC, for example, is dullness, is incapacity, and you're like, I don't know, right? But let's welcome some of you, our folks. Kindly share the live, right, and invite others to join. Drop your comments, whether it's the land grab situation, the mixed views, other thing is development, and other thing that the actions are illegal. What do you think? How do you see it? We'll see what we make of it, but let's see what is going. Amajala Kamara is our first on the list. He's joining from way there in Brussels, and you have Jeremy Dwyer, Tita, Tula, Venicia Junior Bar from Nikutown. Emmanuel Bro is joining from Minnesota. Saturday, Woodware is joining from the USA, Atlanta, Georgia. Melvin Kofa is joining from Brewerville. You have Sawindo Ware from Logantown, James Wilson, J. Henry Na, Kuku Jason Joseph, George Watkins Jr. is joining us from District 13. District 13, I need Georgia all in the District 13 area that I'm sure George will have some idea on what is going on. James Lamy, you have Charles Weir, Sheikh Kamara, Emmanuel M. Wall, Devini Kalapli Wule from District number 11, Honorable J.D. Williams from Johnsonville, thanks a lot. Sam Matui is joining from Grand Bassa Lac. You have Mohammed Roger, Grace Moore, Vicarious, who else? You have Prince Lucas Podolsky Carlos, Stephen Fowler Jr., Chris Rule, and Ari Solomon, Otto G. Johnson Jr., David C. Williams just joining. Who else? Iris Solomon says, good morning. I'm following from Keba behind Battenville Estate. Yeah, I like. So, gentlemen, kindly share the show to all of the different groups that you're in, and let's talk about this. You know, it's important when we're in a country where our rights are determined by our political alliance or allegiance, then there is trouble in the land. You see, the things we criticized yesterday, and we can come and normalize those things today and expect people to clap for us. And that is to our friends within the United Party organization, right? You criticize that the manner and form in which the country was being run or led was not inclusive. The manner and form that things were happening was largely insensitive to the plight of the ordinary people that the government was constituted to look after and care for them. Which other sector in 2 years that have not felt the pinch of your recklessness and, of course, irresponsible leadership? Which other sector? Whether it's the blind people, whether it's the crippled people, whether it's the youths, or the pregnant women, whether it's hospital workers, factory workers, concession laborers, just wherever, minors, everywhere. Everybody's complaining, everybody's crying. So what difference have you brought to leadership and governance? What's the purpose of people going to election to change? Is it just to create an opportunity for other people to be included in the less than 2% of the government are representing the total, population and all that? It's just because Mo Ali wanted to be water and sewer head and was tired of begging, as much as he bragged that he was educated but could not, and find himself a decent job anywhere. So he needed to beg to survive, to pay his rent, and he needed to start feeding on minors in the community for other social satisfaction and all of that. So these people, this is how reckless they were, and you made them government in the country. But you expect that automatically things will change. We've always advocated that, look, in rewarding leadership, you should look at people's track record. You should look at them. And we are not going to mince our words in describing what a few of the folks were before now. but yet still you lended them power, and you're disgraced and shamed, so that every little thing you jump up and you think is something that you have to celebrate. The government that promised so much, that said they were going to do a whole lot. You have people crying. The documentaries of human beings dying in the country for hunger, not for any other thing but hunger, right? Since post-war Liberia, I don't know when. We all saw that. Tons of human beings dying in the country because they can't get food to eat. They go to bed hungry, right? Their parents don't have it. One time a day meal is what people having in Liberia. Even that one time meal is not even sufficient. And somebody say, "Oh, we shouldn't talk about it." You have one man at the Ministry of Agriculture who passes around and talk loosely and provide, and, an impactful data. Every time you listen to him, he's giving all kinds of wild numbers. According to them, they have reduced the importation of rice, trying to paint a picture as if to say they have invested in domestic rice production, made some inroads in food sufficiency, and that's why the number of dependency on foreign importation has reduced, which is not true, right? We're even importing, according to records, we're importing more rice in the country now than before. So where's the government putting the agriculture money? Where they use, right? You have a minister of agriculture who think it's okay since they are there now, then it's fine. All the noise that you all were making about agriculture issue, blah, blah, blah. So what do you hear about a man who, according to what we've been hearing in folktale, that he earned his degrees in agriculture? Nothing to demonstrate that actually he is an agriculturist. Not even a backyard garden. You all have been to Mr. Barker's house. Not even a backyard garden he has, right? Bulu, he became president. He went and laid claim to his in-laws' property in Boma. He said that he farmed. Okay, right? And he goes there. He has developed it, putting public money into it. So he has a farm now. You got horses on the farm. Imagine the very man that was on tape here begging for mobile money and send wave to survive and put gas in his car. Now has horses on his private farm. Right? Can you imagine? But again, when you have the opportunity to vote, the fact that in Liberia that people will look at George Weah and his accomplishment, right, and his financial independence, and want to bring a liability in chief like Bwaka close to him, says a lot about the psychology. It says a lot. And go out there, you see other people vehemently arguing and cluelessly arguing. So what is the worth of getting educated and enlightened when people are enlightened and they're still sounding dummy? Can you imagine? This is the country where people are enlightened. Some of them brag of master, two master, this, that, the other people, that other people. But go let a man open his mouth and he ain't talking. Just bring some kind of critical subject or and hear the man talking. Completely ordinary. Right? You do not even see the worth and the essence of that education that he or she brags of. And you know that you say, oh yeah, this is it. And these are the fools passing around here, hiding, and they were ready to be saying all kinds of things. Humanitarian is a scam organization. We've told you time without number that this is a scam organization. Nothing more, nothing less. That's who they are. We call them out for who they are. And we're not afraid. So let me play something quick on the yellow machine thing, folks. The government say everybody should wear yellow clothes, pass around. The height of mediocrity is what Liberia is experiencing under this old man, unfulfilled old man, right? The height of mediocrity. For the ordinary people who don't know what that is, small-minded, thinking small. The art of thinking small. Say because yellow machine in the country, that everybody should wear yellow clothes. Right? Well, we are also hearing that Bernie Samuka has made some proposals about the salary of those on the yellow machine committee, somewhere around 3 or 4 million. Let me try to verify, right? Okay, let me try to get the numbers right so that while you're wearing your yellow, wherever you are, just know how much this is. Okay, so Samuka has set, according to public information shared by our good friend Benedict, that Bernie Samuka, the chairman of the Yellow Machine Committee, Boaka's Yellow Machine Committee, have set at least 4.8 million for salary. Yesterday, I asked a very fundamental question. Is the Yellow Machine going to be a relief for the country or a curse to an extent? Because imagine us spending $4.8 million to pay people, right, on the Yellow Machine Committee annually, put all their salaries together, right? The disaggregation will probably come later, but this is the bulk figure of the annual take home, $4.8 million. So, and how many more years? This is 2026, right? 26, 27, 28, 29. That's about 4 years, 4 more years to go, right? So then you do the math to understand how much this is going to cost us. Are we prepared for that? In 4 years, how much is Mr. Boaka going to spend on the Yellow Machine? So, folks, as you're preparing to wear your yellow to pass around and declare a public holiday for 1 week, right? So 4.8 million times 4 years for their salaries, the fuel and other maintenance costs not there yet on the Yellow Machine. So just in salary for the next 4 years, Mr. Boaka and his cronies will consume $19.2 million from Liberia for the Yellow Machine. So then we ask, why couldn't Mr. Boaka send the Yellow Machine to the Ministry of Public Works directly, where people are already hired, they're being paid, they have engineers, all of them, right? Just send a script to them. But no, that's not their interest. Their interest is to squander, to steal from the country. And all of them should get it. And that's how they're including people. The other person, oh, my man, it's all the government at time to eat, right? George Moba, this other person, reaching out, right? You listen to Yeke Koluba recently, that Yomli been calling him that he should go and meet the pape, they all suffer for the thing here, and then that they're time to eat, blah, blah, blah. This is what, I was the one that said it, right? I think I can get the Yeke Koluba voice so that you hear it for yourself. What does that say to you about the intention of the rescue mission? It's not to rescue you. Stop living under that cloud of deception or delusion that these people are here to rescue you, that they're going to do anything, right? When you should be taking the $4 million to invest in the healthcare annually, you're taking that one to pay Bernie Samuka and other people. Bernie Samuka for 12 years who failed to the extent that he couldn't even spare army people saving. Army people, your man, your pa, your brother, they're suffering in the army. They lay money and say, you're taking from our salary, you'll be keeping it so they will retire, we'll get something. Bernie Samuka went there, he licked it. That the man Boaka bring and pour over Yellow Machine. So the whole Yellow Machine thing. Okay. Let's listen to a perspective from Unity Party McLean Rwanda. They self-styled activist, a rescue activist. McLean Rwanda. This is what McLean said in all of his fanaticism, his sycophancy, and all of that he's been parading the place and heaping praises on failures and substituting failure for progress and all of those to justify, the proximity and whatever comes that he receives from these scholar rats in public office. This is what the young man thought. For once, he started to think beyond the obvious and said, look, at the end of the day, you bring these machines in that the likes of Bernie Samuka and people going to be, making money. We're talking about 4.8 million that are going the salary with us. With some that money come to you, you wearing yellow passing around.
Struggling to pay the rentage on a daily basis.
Listen,
I cannot celebrate.
These are the issues. Why should we celebrate the yellow machine?
On a daily basis for us. So hard.
I think one of them, more than I get sense. The other people stupid. Instead passing, they put water and enter their brain.
Over the weekend,
they stay in their brain. The other man, put water and go down small. It get small sense.
Yellow machine that have come into the country. Oh yes, it's good.
Nobody say yellow machine are bad thing, but the whole I have problem with the atmosphere, the arrangements, and all of that. I think this is not what the country should be doing.
10 out of the 15 counties where I see very youth struggling to eat every day, struggling.
Other people can eat what they want. They still be doing school fencing.
On a daily basis.
Okay.
I cannot celebrate.
No, is it? I can't.
I cannot celebrate.
Is it true or lie? The young people that you see heaping praises and doing all of that for $50, $20. I soon open the phone lines. This guy, they begin from Peace Island will call, right? And these are young people. The fact that you got to beg somebody to pay your whole rent tells you that your life is not in a good shape. And this is the common thing among the youth in Liberia. Passing around school fee, transportation, scratch card, data, and medical, house rent. The youth in their Jones are still begging for those things in their own country. And somebody said they should jump and just wear yellow shirt and be celebrating because yellow machines are coming under dubious circumstances, under unclear, and of course, unaccountable circumstances, with no public disclosure on the nature of the contract, with no conversations about how these contracts were awarded, with no actual financial prudence in the entire process. PPCC, everything violated. We cannot guarantee the transparency of it, but the president said everybody should jump up and celebrate. How? Are we a country of mediocres? Who are we? We should ask the hard question.
I cannot celebrate. I cannot celebrate. What you are? You can do the best of development, pave the road from Broad Street straight to heaven. President Walker, once the youth are in power to ride on that road, to get money in the pocket, pay the school fee.
How is this one difficult for any young man outside there to understand and advocate the same way for themselves? We're not saying for us, not for me. We do it, right? You stand up, use this movement. When journalists come around, use this movement to speak on behalf of yourself and your fellow compatriots as young people. Do you want to go 10 years from now and you are still in that same state? Oh, Mr. President, yellow machine sounds good. It's a good thing. But what we are saying, right, the most urgent priority must be placed on our empowerment, our welfare, our sustainability strategy, right? Universities in Monrovia, years after years, are graduating tons and hundreds of accountants, right? Public administrators and all of that, they're languishing from street corners to the others without job. What do we see the youth going into? Taking court licenses, running after each other for motorbike, black exhaust. You think Liberian youth supposed to be relegated to that? Absolutely. Times are hard. Things are difficult. The government is insensitive. The president cares less. An heartless, very heartless old man doesn't put his focus on the issues that really matter. You think he cares? Absolutely not. Really, I mean, look at the old man, man. The old man look to you like somebody who really cares about what you're going through.
Pay the rent. A fall for the mothers and fathers that depend on them. You don't do nothing. No, nothing. Why must I celebrate? Why?
So, at long last, Michael Rana slapped his own advocacies of the past in the face that, oh, the rescue doing what the fact that he come to agree with all of us that everything the government doing is not addressing the real issues that the Liberian people elected them for. They're not creating jobs, right? They're not building capacity, right? Of course, they're not regulating prices and what have you.
If you look at the people that are celebrating the yellow machine now are people who are working. They have fuck salary taking pay on a monthly basis.
Okay, isn't that true? So how you allow the men are working, stealing from the country, Right? They may join celebrating. Then you in the community, you ain't get your first cap out here, you baking friends, you can rally and say, y'all go compare note. You can compare note to eat. The whole survival hanging on comparing note. Anytime you buy around, you're looking nicely dressed. At the end of the day, you got to beg somebody for carpet to go back home. Right? Then you see men that are sitting in the air conditioned office talking. You see, cover pastor without begging for liquor to drink on me right here on Broad Street. Celebrating. Then you drunk. Then you say you celebrating too. Right? Do we really need it? Must we ignore the real issues and just be seen as and just be seen as, you know?
Vast majority of you compassion of 3.7 million, you don't have nothing to do. We are staying here. We are staying. They say must celebrate be happy. What will be happy for? For what?
Listen.
What do you be happy for?
It doesn't matter. You men can tolerate it. Then what about you now?
Talk man. They're the same. You know what?
Even we are broad machine here. Ellen broad machine. But they say
give me the power inside of their mansion and all of that fucking up with the youth in this country.
They say
you
everybody must wear yellow clothes in the country.
We fought 14 years, 1 year. They're the same. You know how you go put that all year. Ellen, they're the same. So we are the same. You bugger, you want to do the same, Mr. President? You want to abandon the youth? What a job you take Randy Samuka, who have worked all of their life in government, putting on a steering committee to hair yellow machine? What? No. Is that the rescue that we voted for? Is that the rescue that we share blood for? In public glad, is it a rescue? No, it's a contradiction. Randy Samuka, it's a contradiction. Why can't be McLean to be appointed as a head to steer that steering committee? Why can't be me? Why can't be me?
Yeah, you're taking all criminals and putting them in places. Why the young people suffering? We never put our behind you for rescue and opportunity. We abandon it. They unfulfilled.
It could be poor other people. I can't be burning Samuka. After one fight, I baffled over the idea why you have the public work whose responsibility is to carry on development all through the country, but not empowering the public work. But you forming a different steering committee that will leech on the Liberian people taxpayer money. Wow,
$4.8 million annually. Just imagine.
Liberian youth are still living in a state of destitution and poverty.
And they rescue government.
You know when I was celebrating? When thousands of men of youth are working, they are going home on a daily basis, carrying black passes back home.
Okay, let me hold it there and see what you other young people think about what McLean have said. I think this is something that should be coming out. And this is what young people should be having conversation about: your personal empowerment, the change that you desire and deserve in your life, and you can't be bootlicking and praise singing all of the time to survive. As soon one of you managed to slip someone away and enter someone's office and they're paying you $200, oh, you probably already achieved now. You ready to be insulting your friend, you know, you become the more peace now. You gotta be demonstrating. As soon as they grab one of you, they put you in a $300 office. Oh no, some of you on professional salary, but yesterday you don't even care. Your future is in jeopardy. Your employment is not even guaranteed, but the fact that on more end they can give you 200 and thing, I think that is thinking low. The youth need to wake up. The revolution on our hands is a duty of the young people, or else we have another cycle of useless young people in this country that will mean nothing to themselves and for themselves. The social breakdown that we were observing yesterday, I was talking about it, are all because of what? People don't have the means. You don't have the means and you want to keep a woman and you can't take care of her. And then she gets attracted to something else. She goes and commit, and you know, abomination. They say, oh, hey, the women are not good. Then when you have the opportunity to push your government to make you responsible, capable, and independent, you compromise that with $50 and $25. How well are our young people thinking in Liberia? It's important. The John Kulu, you see people who are in offices wearing yellow to celebrate yellow machine. You join, you celebrate. When other people asking the hard question, then you can start cursing them. 6 years later, you'll still be in the same position, looking for another person again to be praise singing, to start to give you. When is that cycle going to stop? It's going to break. When? And young people have to consider that. Let's take course as you go ahead to wear your yellow machine, your yellow clothes, and all of you, right? When you now push the government to know that whatever, there's a very insensitive government. Look in the budget every day, they're spending millions on themselves, creating. Why are the youth not constructively engaging the fight? And I like what McLean Randall raised. How can you take Bernie Samuka and put him on a committee, on a specialized committee? What does that signal to you? That they're creating avenue for their likes and their associate, right? To join the gang of exploitation and steal from this country. That's what they are doing, right? Nobody is against yellow machine because the law and the statute require that you empower the Ministry of Public Works. And for the Ministry of Public Works to be empowered, you have to bring yellow machines. Ellen did the same, we are did the same, and we expect Baka to do the very same. Then you jump, you left the Ministry of Public Works there. You say you set up this whole special committee. You put Bernie Samuka, Roger Duma, and all the people that win election, they fill in the district and other place. You put it on the committee. You say you can't eat on this side. Then when we talk, you say we are the people that are unpatriotic. What is your definition of patriotism? What is your measurement? What's the standard? Right? To be blindly supporting and refusing to be critical, to assess and unpack, and be able to dichotomize between what is good for the country and what is bad. 6 years from now, they will come out and say, oh, the Mexican yellow machine. But you are heaping praises on it, irrespective of the accountability questions that critical voices like us are raising about it. You're branding us. We agree, we accept the brand. Is this the first time to have yellow machines? Oh, look. The government says a flagship. They are a flagship. But again, because they're flagship, so you should do it anyhow. As if to say that your power money or that your my money, that family money you're taking. No, the country money got to give an account. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers. And after a few calls, we go to Labor Ministry. There's something we have to talk about from that place. Good morning. Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. This is the common chairman, and COP Willie. For the public call, I join you from right behind the President Bwaka thing. Abu, I refuse to say young king is a good thing because I know it is a Pandora box and it's not a good thing. Abu, let me say this. A big shrine is a shrine. No matter how much lipstick you can get to place on the mouth of a pig, that pig is nothing but a pig. No, Abu, Liberia has evolved. The essence of getting yellow machine to get that kind of role. The time is long gone. So we are moving to another era. Like the former president said, we are into another era and it took us back. We are moving to a generic era and then we're taking back to the auto-generic days. That is what is happening in Liberia now. And because of our mediocratic nature, these people who are suffering from Alzheimer, look, Alzheimer is something or brain defect or quality impairment problem. The ballroom of Bwaka is filled with dementia. The people there, they got Parkinson's disease. That is why they will wear yellow t-shirt and take the street for yellow machine. That I don't know how to describe it. That's why I chose to stay right behind him. I'm saying if I don't call tomorrow morning, just know that I've been taking for question. And I don't care. I'm intentional about it. That before country is better, the ballroom gotta be better.
Okay, they don't have greens. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
Abu, this is Washington Swoop, and I'll come from Gainesville.
Go ahead.
This government don't mean well for it. The thing that I said, bringing yellow machine is yellow machine that quota. If we yellow machine meaning that we are finished developing, we bring getting quota or what?
Yellow machine pour medicine in the hospital.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yellow machine pour the price down.
Protesting, no service. At the hospital, that yellow machine will solve that, and then you take the responsibility of public way and give it to bring someone else. Just for him to make money from the government. Then what the problem are here for? What do we have problem? Use our public way. The government they just projecting to see that they projecting to see nothing else. What we set up committee?
See Phoebe Hospital. See the mattresses in Phoebe Hospital. Dirty, dilapidated, filled.
All the other machines are made because they all have a committee for them. They are just a bunch of criminals, man.
Okay, a bunch of criminals. Good morning. Good morning. No day. So just right there up to now, Mama, I'll let you go. Nobody set up special committee to steal and say that yellow machine committee. Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, child.
Let's hear you. We're fine.
That's also more calling from the Brazil Bell. This yellow machine will going to put food on the table of the people. But these guys are increased in medical treatment all over the country. When a woman is pregnant this time, she will not develop herself because she will go through operation. All these things they are looking at eating. All of them they are setting yellow machine. Only thing where I can follow every blessed they want to. In some people in the street to conduct interview, they beat them up when you never publish it. But when you conduct the opinion on his screens, what happened there is that he publishes it hard.
All right, thank you very much. So this one coming in says the aid to Boakai house has got a fire somewhere in the Pinsville area there. Terrence Woods, he's the aid to Mr. Boakai. Good morning.
Abu, good morning.
Morning.
Abu, my name is Ishmael Kamara, and I call you this morning from Pinsville. So let me appreciate you for the program this morning, Abu. But you know, one thing I'm sensing is that the Labour Party supporters actually currently are the most insensitive group of people I've seen in my lifetime in our country. I think we have to be able to looking in our faces and engaging intellectually. You cannot tell me for God's sake that the machine that is being most talked about in the country have arrived in the country yet. Which is a very good thing. We should appreciate because we don't develop.
No, but people are hungry and officials in the government seem to be celebrating. The ordinary people out there in the street yesterday are all in the streets and nobody's talking about it. Only them. That's to tell you how hungry the people are.
For God's sake, when we are talking about the livelihood of our people, they are celebrating yellow machine. But now you have the situation on the ground, or Abu. When I did my own cost analysis of the yellow machine or saga, I got to understand that it is a loss to all, it's not a gain. Like, I had a discussion this morning on your platform about whether it is a blessing or it is a curse. I consider it a curse because this is not anything that's going to move our country forward. For example, this machine, Rani Samuka is telling us that we are going to spend less than 4 million plus annually. Okay, we went to Echo Bank, we talk about $10 million of credit for the commercial bank. We're going to be paying our money without interest. Can you imagine, Abu, that we are going to be spending additional 4 million plus every budget year? Times that money by 3 to 4 years. If we do that 4 times 4, that's 16 million. So are you going to tell me that we're going to be spending like 16 million in 4 years plus? Or 16 million plus in 4 years? For God's sake, up to the 17 billion. What are we going to be expecting as a dividend as our country? So in my mind, to just bring all those yellow machines to spread it all across here, and in my mind, they are not going to be doing anything better. They are not going to be doing any asphalt pavement around here. They're going to be involving any critical infrastructure development or agriculture program. They are just going to bring the yellow machines to be able to take salaries and to be able to pay their ponies. So this yellow machine story, they have to be able to be able to do critical analysis, especially those who follow the United Party.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have to read it. And the whole thing about it, I mean, like it or not, the president doesn't even care. Yeah, hello, good morning. Go ahead.
Abu, there's the right of Gibraltar. I'm Tony Hackman. I call you from Brazil.
Go ahead quickly.
Abu, think of more time. Isn't that machine that fills the roads?
Machines.
Do you talk about that? Isn't that machine? Doing both time. The alien and we are that machine. So I can't, machines not unique to the United Party people. Why United Party make it that was doing it?
Because they're stealing, so they want to divert the public attention to the machines. I said this is the first time machines came to the country.
It's so funny that y'all want to go on official wearing yellow. I mean, put yesterday. How can how can a machine become unique to country that is 178 years? Like other countries are celebrating greater thing than airplane ship. 178 years country like United Party just make like bro to be a laughing stock to other people part of the world. You're celebrating yellow machine. I used to say other government are bringing yellow machine. What kind of problem is it, Abu? It's so frustrating. I think it's better, man.
Okay, thank you very much. But folks, this is what we are talking about. All about celebrating billions. Look at Guinea right here. They put iron ore stuff. How many billions? 10 to 20 billion investment in that place. People talking about. And he's talking about yellow machines, few pieces of yellow machines. And the whole 285 they're talking about everything, not even yellow machines. So you got more OO trucks inside and pickup and water tank truck and then the actual yellow machine. A complete criminal government here. Be heard about rule, right? You take a convicted criminal main here of the main here of the special committee. I know I gotta let it go, my man. You can do that, right? You can do that, right? Let me squeeze this. Morning.
Morning, Abu.
Morning.
Thank you. Abu, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call for my propo corner down Coast Bone Hill, Winter Community. Abu, I asked the guys who wore yellow t-shirts, yellow suits and yellow t-shirts all around yesterday. What are they breaking the yellow machine? Weren't they the same person who was telling us that road will eat, that development will eat? So what are they breaking the yellow machine to do? Are they telling me they are coming to do the copycat where President we have did for which
they're bringing it to steal, to put all criminal on the committee, and they'll be taking $4.8 million annually for salary. Are you EIE?
Indeed, that's the hiding hand behind this yellow machine just to come and look and milk our country. I thought you guys said they were educated than us.
Bunch of OO trucks, they go and part a bunch of OO trucks. He said that yellow machines, and he put all criminals on it, convicted, right? The same way you free a convicted murderer from prison and rewarded her with public office. Good morning. Hello, go ahead.
You know, when I'm going to eating out because no senator in Lupa. Well, I'm out there being a fucking team. He be running a campaign where you honor influence. But you look at public wedding, the public where you know, we have our popular money, our woman money there. Today we get nothing. Geography says when you have change, I can American look at you. Gonna never lover. So I think I'm money from people lover. Yeah, I don't know why you can lover. I don't know why you fuck lover. So the Papa don't promote lover.
Man, I'm a people money in it. Yeah, you couldn't pay. I got to pay. Sorry, thank you very much. But this is it. Liberal case is so peculiar, and of course, when you think about it, you get so disgusted about the whole thing, and you don't even know where to start. And that's all the calls we can take for this segment. I'm sorry, Poka, Edmond, and others. We have to move to something else quickly. You know, I want to talk about this demolition thing, but let me spend some time on the Ministry of Labor. There have been several labor rights issues that's been coming up across the country from different mining areas. Being the voice of the people, we have always availed ourselves to elevating the cries of the Liberian people. And for the past 2-3 weeks or even a month, whether from Grand Bassa, from Grand Cape Mount, from Nimba, and of course, Bon County, MNG Go, and other places. Just over the weekend, you had the women, right, from a nearby village around MNG Go operation that were protesting as well, right? That were protesting in the local vernacular. So that's to tell you the height of concessional abandonment and neglect, and of course, irresponsible labor abuses that's going on, and of course, the institutions established by law to be able to ensure that the right things are done at these concession areas have turned its back and compromised the interests of the Liberian people. A special case with something in Grand Bassa where they say the labor commissioner, in fact, the labor commissioner doesn't visit, and his assigned areas, sits in Buchanan, and then collects allegedly envelope from the different companies there that are exploiting Liberians, and never goes there to inspect and ensure that safety and other issues are provided. And then when we take it up, you have a compromised idiot who sits in the office there and spew out gibberish to a platform hired by the government to misrepresent, misinform, and disinform the public, right? To protect whatever salary and whatever that he's getting from there. So there is this paper, say the Labor Journal, and the managing editor is one E. Frederick Bay. E. Frederick Bay is the managing editor of the Labor Journal, and he wrote an article in the paper branding and castigating Freedom FM and calling all sorts of names to satisfy his masters, right? But mind you, this man is running a newspaper, right? That's supposed to be independent, right? But this man is actually running a propaganda machinery for the Ministry of Labor. So he uses this paper to blindfold and, of course, mislead sector actors. So people will go for this paper to read and say, oh, the labor, because it's concentrated on labor issues. And when you read, the narrative captured in this paper is absolutely contrary to the realities on the ground, because the Ministry of Labor has hired this man, and he works in the ministry as an assistant director for communication. He says there, right? That's conflict of interest, right? The man running the paper, and then I see that man in the office. But beyond that, the man is in the office, right? The man is in that office as assistant communication director, and he is managing editor of the Labor Journal. He uses government internet. He uses government time, government resources to publish a PR journal. So because we have been placing a lot of attention and creating a lot of stuff around this whole labor abuse thing and the breakdown there, and availing our platform to advocates that are standing tall, and of course, in spite of all of the odds and challenges, they're speaking for our people. The guy wrote a story, and this is it. He says, Labor Ministry dismisses impersonator George Tengbers. You all remember George Tengbers? He's been making some appearances here, and we'll be having labor conversation. I'm even talking to him about the guys from Nimba. I have that video here. I'm going to play it, right? Then we see whether it's Frederick Bay that's independent, that's responsible, or that us doing the job as the watchdog. This man who compromises his watchdog stand and sits in an office where he witnessed the abuse of Liberian laborers, and his journalistic conscience is buried for the few cents and dollars that he gets from Corporal Cry, right? To paint a deceptive picture and narrative while our people are suffering. And we brought on the radio so that you all will know the people who are doing it. They pass around, they say they are good journalists, they're doing all kinds of things. This is one. So when you're reading the Labor Journal, all that thing you're reading is so la. Because there is no way this man will paint the real picture of what our people are going through, sitting in the office of the Ministry of Labor and using the internet and being paid from there, and you think it is now PR people. So the Ministry of Labor has strongly, I'm going to read the article. The Ministry of Labor has strongly dismissed and condemned the ongoing politically motivated besmear campaign against Minister Corporal W. Cry by a man identified as George Tengbe. The Labor Ministry, in a press statement issued today, which is on the day before also, revealed that in recent times, Tengbe, who labels himself as self-styled advocate on labor matters, right? A self-styled advocate on labor matters. Let me do it like this. A self-styled advocate on labor matters, right, has taken on to various social media platforms, particularly Freedom FM. This is a journalism, right? He doesn't even know the ownership of Freedom FM, the operation of Freedom FM, but he make insinuation and he present that as a fact. But that man is supposed to be a responsible journalist, somebody that will take serious. And he said, like what I said from the get-go, people think when they're associated with Unity Party, that means they're smart. I mean, everything, a bunch of stupid idiots piling themselves up and misleading themselves. And they're in that cycle of delusion and fooling themselves, right? Self-styled advocate on labor matters has taken on to various social media platforms, particularly Freedom FM, the propaganda, according to him, Freedom FM, the propaganda mouthpiece of the Opposition Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, to malign the high-end reputation of the distinguished labor minister Cry. Distinguished? Does Cobra Cry and distinguished exist in the same neighborhood? All the stories that we know that are available, that can be referenced and pulled out about Cobra Cry, does they communicate a distinguished character or a distinguished public servant? The records are available, they're new. But this man calls Cobra Cry a distinguished man because Cobra Cry hires him and pay his mouth to say gibberish in his defense and confuse that to be truth. He's a praise singer, right? Frederick. That's who this Frederick fellow is. So he stressed the Labor Ministry deputy spokesman explained that upon the ascendancy of Minister Cry at the Labor Ministry, Tengbe sought an audience with the minister in for appointment. I mean, he's trying to say that he's trying to blame this advocate that's standing there and exposing everything that George Tengbe have said happening. Everything can be verified and proven. If to say the man concocting lies, you say, oh, the man lying on the minister. When the man say workers in Grand Bassa County are sleeping outside and they're drinking from bowls, dirty water, their employers cannot provide the basic incentive that they promise the people, right? As a ministry, you should be interested in going in, ascertaining, and of course, mediating to resolve that and ensure that there is decency attached to the laborers. No, but you don't kulu. You take your man, you pay him some money to write nonsense. And you see what's happening in the country. The message the African workers in the country, the ministry and the minister has connived to dismiss, enter a cahoot with foreign firms to dismiss these people simply because they stood up saying that, oh, we are working, no benefit. For several years, several months, the people don't want to give our benefit. You please come here and tell them to give our benefit. The people say, hey, you send ERU officers, PSC officers, they open fire. Let me play. Then you know, Frederick and us, who is the propaganda machine? Frederick and Freedom FM, for example. Y'all watch this thing in Liberia, in the labor sector. This is what Frederick covers. Frederick says, when we report on these kinds of heinous happening in the country, poor family heads, struggling for jobs, get hired, the rights are abused, the Ministry of Labor does nothing. And when we talk about that, you have useless people sitting in some offices and be writing nonsense, and they say the managing editor. They're not 1998, they're not 2003. That because this heavy gun sound that you're hearing, that right here in Liberia, Wakobokra is Minister of Labor, laborers hired by the Asilometer subsidiary or AFCON, right? That abuse the people, refuse to pay them benefits, the salaries on time and all of that, exposing them to hazardous environments and their lives are threatening and all of those things. When they came out to speak about it, right, they want to open fire on the people. They open fire on them. This deputy communication man has not issued a statement, right? A statement recognizing the violations of those Liberians' rights. But this man is outraged that there are advocates condemning the action, right? Condemning the action and calling it out. And of course, blackmailing our institution simply because we are serving the actual purpose of a gatekeeper, a voice for the voiceless. And this man who is hired in the ministry writes his paper and says all sort of things. Listen. So you see what they try to do? Ordinary or armed citizens, ordinary and or armed citizens, advocating in their own country for their rights. As the Ministry of Labor has abandoned them, even when they're going through the strike action, not even the company threatening them at that point, but it's the ministry threatening them. You lose your job, you don't go back to work. The people say, oh, but the condition is bad, it's unbearable, go back. You go back, we'll dismiss you. Is that the role of the ministry? Like when you say, oh, Mr. Minister, the way we have been treated is unfair. The point giving our benefit, they're paying all this. Say, go back. So no, we're going back. We call it attention so you can't talk to the people to make sure they do this thing. Say, go back. You go back. We give you 2 days. We give you 3 days. We give you 1 week. You go back, they'll fire you. But this other assistant communication director said and he say, oh, all right. The people deserve it. All the workers that are complaining around the country, they all deserve it. Nobody more talk. So the man say, all the people that are talking, he say that Freedom FM people, that propaganda more peace. So they think, yeah, oh yeah. A fair? The man say George Stengber is using opposition CDC own Freedom FM. That CDC get Freedom FM? How are you a managing editor of a whole paper and you're so uninformed and you're distributing lies and you say you're publishing, right? Instead of the liberal broadcasting system, and how do you want to censor people's opinion as to where they go, what they say, and what have you? Who gave you that authority to tell and activate where to go and carry their message? He said they're angry why the men are going to ELBC and the men coming to Freedom FM. So that means the thing the men saying, they will not take it. So all of you, those of you that can call from Seti brother, blah, 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 the reason why you're not seeing anybody from the ministry to come and address your concern are the reasons. And like I've said, whenever you try to be critical and raise issue with elements in the government and the lapses, you try to bring them out and pinpoint them, they start to threaten you. Now, here's the story. Coming to the end of last week, George had gone after advocating for a lady somewhere in Grand Bassa there also. So there was a hearing at the labor court. And of course, it must be open to the public. So George had gone to attend the hearing. And this very unprofessional communication man denied the man access and turned and described the man, according to George, an enemy of state that the ministry has described him as declaring enemy of the state. Can you imagine in our own country? Declare the main enemy of the state. They say the ministry, what authority the minister get to be declaring particular individual in the country enemy of the state and denying them access to public forums? Public, not private, public forums. They may say, okay, let's go and witness and see how you dispense this. Because they're not going to do, they're going to compromise the mentioning of thing. Deny the man access. The man came out and man said, oh. And aside from the denial, but the reason for the denial that the minister have declared the man enemy of the state. My people, you tell us what's going on. So the election, what y'all went to election and voted democratically in keeping with the laws and give power to UP. That means now nobody get right in the country. The country belongs to UP. You tell us, engage Stengber. So is that the release further stressed that Minister Kura's refusal to personally engage Stengber was based on Stengber's past proven track records of impersonating as a labor expert and extorting funds from deprived job seekers at several investment employment or conglomerates. This is baseless, unfounded. No laborer have ever written anywhere to say, oh, the judgment I can be talking for or advocating for or pleading for us. He charged us this amount to talk. We avail our platform free of charge to these brothers and others to come because we can't ignore the concern of the people. Some people here cutting, their legs cutting, their ear, their eye, they will lose their eyes. Are these unsafe, unprotected workplaces when you have labor inspectors that do not even go to these scenes? They compromise. So they're individuals that are standing up and talking for the people. And what do? You start to call them names. Look at the video that's circulating with that immigration officer. We don't even know whether he's actually an immigration officer or he's somebody impersonating. Because what did we see around Baton Rouge Junction? 3 other guys impersonating as AFL officers, wore AFL uniform. Who gave these people those uniforms? The state has turned criminal. The state has turned gangster. 3, hijacking motorbike, they had to be arrested. Citizens arrest before the police came and picked them up. These things are happening one after the other. Augustine was slapped by a man wearing LRS uniform who was trying to interrogate a Chinese businessman at a local hotel somewhere in Monrovia. And then the general went to inquire. The moment the man introduces himself, the guy left the Chinese fellow and came and slapped the guy in the face. Brutality everywhere. The same thing. George Stingray had gone to the ministry to go and witness a labor hearing in the labor court. And this guy, right, violently engaged the man and denied the man access, as if to say that ministry for corporate crime. These are the things happening in the country that we need to talk about. They both feel they can suppress everything. So do not take the labor journal serious. It's a propaganda machinery of the government, the Ministry of Labor to be specific. The stories that are there are paid for. The stories that are there are compromised. The stories that are there are misinformation, disinformation, far-fetched, and represent only the view and opinion of the Minister of Public Works. That's not how a newspaper is supposed to operate. That's not how an independent media is supposed to operate, right? Ignoring the plight of the common people, right? And serving as a catalyst to shield duty bearer from their duties and responsibility. What kind of journalist is that? What kind of media operation is that? Shielding duty bearers in the face and midst of flagrant violations and abuse of rights in the sector and abandonment on duty? What purpose is there of a Ministry of Labor that does not cater to the welfare of workers in the country? And when advocates are saying that, you develop the audacity and the fortitude to spew gibberish and defame the high-end repetition of independent voices, people who refuse to be bootlickers like yourself, people who are challenging and, of course, defying the odds and standing tall. How much do they pay you, in fact, to compromise yourself, compromise your integrity, compromise your career, right? And publish a fake, undercover, government-sanctioned, sponsored PR journal? How much do they pay you? So we expose these papers as we keep seeing them. Don't take them seriously. They are lying. Go and get a copy and see the nonsense. And these people would never be read on this radio station. I would tell the guys. Now that we know, we thought it was something serious, something. What about that nonsense? This is being paid for by corporate crime and other Lebanese and Indian companies in this country that's exploiting our people. So they'll be writing fanfare story. This place right here, beer factory. In the paper, he said nothing about the protests that beer factory workers are having, the resolution and things that are happening for the Liberian people. You can't read beer factory expand operation and expand abuse of the people, of the workers. What about the workers concerned? How can the labor journal is not even highlighting that? Is that what a labor journal is supposed to be for? Pressing, taking money from company operators, businesses, and writing nonsense, painting a picture that does not exist when your fellow Liberians are crying daily, when they're losing their arms, their legs, their eyes, their ears, to dangerous, hazardous working environments that your inspectors have abandoned. And you say nothing, you write nothing as a journalist, and your conscience, you think you can go free with that? the Afghan crisis, the gunshots, the terror, the horror, the psychological disturbance, the injuries. The Labor Journal did not report on any of that. The Labor Journal communicate praises, extols a minister who sits over a sector that's breaking down, that's not holding on anything, that nothing seems to be happening. Even the stores, inspections don't exist there. Go to places, it's under their watch, under this Minister of Labor's watch, that you have company operating in the country, they give them permit, all of that. One man will do three-man job. One man will occupy 3-man job when Liberians are crying that there is no job. And the Labor Ministry is aware. A Labor Ministry that cannot provide statistics on the job creation in the country. And the president had to go lie and mislead the people. And you think that's a responsible ministry presided over by a responsible man, and you got to be defaming other people's reputation, and you can look at serious entities like freedom and bring your Koshioko more to can't talk gibberish about who we are. Who are you to define us? You think our job here is dictated by your whims or the whims and caprice of your enablers? You think that they are the one that determine what we say, how we say it? Do we look afraid to you? Bootlegging scholars sit in undeserved public office with no credentials, no qualification whatsoever, mediocrity. They are higher on patronage. They sit there spreading hate, spreading blackmail, and of course, branding people. Because that's the only way they can survive. Is to be writing these kinds of nonsense that the only way you will survive. This thing that cannot pass any proper text of ethical scrutiny. These people cannot pass. They cannot pass. It will be trash. You're writing trash and you're being paid for nonsense, and you can look at serious organization here contributing. You know the impact we're making? Have you asked yourself why we're the most listened to radio station in the country? Because we're serving our purpose. What is our purpose? For the people to stand there and raise their issue and be the voice for the voiceless. That's Freedom FM. That's who we are. Check around Monrovia as we're talking. All the shops, the marketplaces are locked down. Street corners, everywhere. You think we earned that by bootlicking failed public officials? Eh? You think we earned that by compromising critical stance? No, we do not. We earned that by braving the storm, challenging the odds, and speaking on the hard subjects that all of you are afraid to talk about. Compromise. You can't talk nonsense. How dare you? How dare you? What is happening to that labor ministry? Tribalism, favoritism, ethnicity, division, compromises, corruption. That's what happening to the Ministry of Labor. The very employees of the ministry are on record. There are several records we can go for and start playing it. You call somebody propaganda, you sit down in a rotten environment. Is it mouthpiece? Mouthpiece or what? You are a higher mouthpiece for a failing ministry, a failing minister. The only thing that's keeping him there is because of ethnic cleavages, pointing to undue ethnic sentiments, and of course, projecting himself as a leader of the kinsmanship thing. Beyond that, proper evaluation, you'll be the next man fired in the next minute from now. He has failed on everything. Jump in, I'm the political leader of MDR. And that's all you get. That's all you got to do to get public service job in this useless regime. That's what you have to do. And you think we wouldn't, if the regime is useless, for purpose, you think we wouldn't call it that way? 2 years ever since. Rewarded public leadership on silver platter without anything to show. 90% of those movers and shakers in this regime have all come from a background of criminality and state looting, state thievery. All of them, from the president down. Commission and audit on your vice president. Commission and audit on your president. Commission and audit on them the time in public service. And you hold your head. You say, oh, yeah, I wouldn't been talking true. Let me see you open your mouth in that place and say something about Freedom FM another time. Then we'll go for it now. That one it will be real war declared. So let's go and talk more about our people. But let me take 1 or 2 calls. Morning. Poker Robert. Do you want to talk about the Ministry of Labor? The Ministry of Labor say all the violations are happening, the shooting are happening, it's good for the Liberian people. Nobody must talk that the minister is good, he's okay, and they're insulting other people who try to advocate for our people that are suffering to the workplaces. Poker, are you there? 776-104-104, 865-100-104, +221 865-100-104. And these kinds of publications are a direct threat. So this is also a public, notice to relevant authority that the like of Freedom FM and we that work here, and of course, the like of George Tengbe, lives are at risk. That's how the government has branded us. That's the bracket the government has put us in. When you decide to be an advocate in the country, the government bring you, put you somewhere, and they're going after you. They don't respect your life. They don't respect your rights anymore. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, sir. I'm okay. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Mike. Mike Yema, call from Omega. And that labor minister making fun because I used to travel Aston before in the canal. Yeah, and I was my partners that they carry on make some of us they fall down because we went and then speak for our rights. And then some people among us went to the building, but those guys don't put it down. And we went to live up officer that in the canal. Nothing that was it. They just never checked that. Up to now, we lost our one soul.
Okay, so those are the issues. So Frederick should come be talking about that one. Good morning. Go ahead. Let's hear your issues.
Yeah, good morning. I'm constrained to call because it baffles me. Anyway, my name is Nangwe, calling from Keba, District 11. Sincerely speaking, the Labour Minister is not doing well with this government. But some of all, we keep saying that this government has validated our thought. I know that this government cannot do anything. That Labour Minister will just be there because of ethnicity. Because he sees that he come from an area where he have a large population of people, then the government will buy into things because they want to be re-elected. But in law, they want to never can vote for the government, but turn to the next state, they will not win election. The only thing I will tell my people, the only thing I will tell the Liberian people, turn to the land, they should not vote with anger before we can hear that valuable. They should take the time to make that decision.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a good one. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Morning, sir.
And good morning to the people of the country. Abu, my name is Mohammed Donzo Fana Jr. Abu, I just called this morning to appreciate you by dealing with a newspaper that, outline your topic on a platform. I enjoyed this morning, but thank you very much for the publisher.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Jerry Gibson calling from Looking.
Go ahead.
So, that's anything that happened, I won't tell you. Yeah, they had us see the police in to allow them to go in the body. My children in school, for the distance, they're covering for $300 for each body. Go and come. I didn't have money. I went and got it to some people. They helped me with 15,000. The 15,000, I went and gave them my word. I gave for the 15,000 while I'm working. Try and take the money and be selling. 15 days to be paying the children, we get the money and be selling. The same day they get more back. The men, they get the rest when the men went and took the rest, all the rest and the market and she had done everything because you bought the most. The men took that market and carried it today. And I can't even afford to, but I don't go to school.
Too sad. I mean, these stories are all out there. They'll jump on the people, they'll brutalize them, they'll take away their finances, take away their investment, their businesses, caring less about what they go through and how they survive. That's how reckless, that's how irresponsible the government has turned out to be. But folks, we have to make progress. But just before we do that, a few updates for you. Health workers are still continuing their go slow in Swakoko, Bon County, Phoebe Hospital to be specific. They have abandoned duties. The hospitals are empty. The hospital everywhere in Phoebe is empty. This other loose talking, fanatical, unstable CSA director has gone there. I don't know for what sort of intervention mission, but the people have left the place. Right? As we speak, in your rescue government, the whole hospital in Phoebe has been abandoned. Right? The whole hospital has been abandoned. You aren't saying anything about that. They're not Joria, they're not CDC, a Unity Party. But you say it's okay. Right? Yesterday we were telling you about the millions and millions, about $18 million in this budget captured for intelligence, going to big sharks within the security apparatus. And so the courts are hearing in the matter involving the former finance minister today. And of course, it's also expected that matter in the motion to quash the asset recovery subpoena of Cloud Hope Foundation will also be heard, and determinations will be made as to whether the court will grant, currency to the asset recovery attempts, or we see reason in the legal arguments proffered by lawyers representing the Cloud Hope Foundation and quash the gibberish or the nonsense. So those are things you should look out for that will be coming up right here. That will be coming up. And so that's what it is. Okay. Probably been going to Ganta again. So property issues, demolitions, eviction, machines, bulldozers, crash, homelessness, people sleeping in the streets, kids drop out of school, parents nowhere to hope for survival. The picture that defines the realities in most of Monrovia communities today. As the government have given approval and the president have endorsed every attempt that seeks to remove people from their homes, demolish their properties, and of course, destroy their businesses. According to the president, the reason he believes these things should go ahead is because a guy is not making new land. That's the justification the president offers for why, in his mind, it is a good thing for people to go ahead without any sort of conversation with the victims or the occupants, some of whom have occupied these places for years and years. And I'm told there's a specific portion of our law that gave some degree of partial ownership to occupants in an area of especially private land for over 20 to 30 years. And the rationale behind that is if you had a land that you abandoned for 30 years, for example, you've not been there, you did not visit there, you have not been paying taxes on it, you have not done anything, it is assumed that that place has been abandoned. And the new occupant who have been there have never seen you before, you have never come one day, have been paying dues, have been paying rent, have been paying tax on the property, have developed the property. The state cannot take the property from that person to give it to you only because you come several years after, because the area have grown in commercial value, the person have developed the place, and then you come back, you go to the court, spend some money according to Mo Ali, right? Spend some money, bribe your way, and then hire a few yellow machines, go there, and lay claim to 2-3 communities, sometimes a whole township, so to speak, right? Because if you say 100 and some more acres, like we're hearing, and one man come and lay claim to that, caring less about what's going to be of all the people that have invested. Those areas, as we've heard from the New Jersey area, there are schools there, there are mosques there, there are church there, there are orphanage there, right? There are clinics, hospitals, and what have you. And the government sits down and give approval and endorsement to those things to go and say, this is fermenting chaos on your citizens. The government say, yes, go ahead and do it. So we are carrying yellow machine, we're going to break the people home. Your people, we're going to render them homeless. The president say, go ahead and break it. I'm just putting this in the simplest terms so that you understand what these things mean from a leadership standpoint. Somebody say, oh, I'm coming to the court. You see the whole New Jersey place from New Jersey all the way to Suma Simako, right? I bought it from this other person, they give it to me, and then you go inside, you go all the way to you pass beyond Jonathan Pelele house, right? With the demarcation they gave me, if they go by that, Jonathan Pelele house is inside. Jonathan Pelele and several other rescue multi-bands all along the corridors are going to be affected. But this is beyond partisanship. It's about humanity. It's about it's about justice and humanity. How do we balance between there? If it is even justice. But since a lot of people have said, under the atmosphere and the regime as it is now, justice is purchased. NAMI, right? Senior elements within the government themselves have come out publicly to say, right? Under this government here, you go to the court, you can buy justice. Right? That's what Mo Ali said. That's what I'm trying to get for you. This is what Mo Ali said. Under the regime. So we are quoting them.
We keep talking about there are corrupt judges here. And some people making the court system corrupt. You know what they're doing now, especially in the probate court. Mm-hmm. I can see your land. I go there, buy it, get the deed, go to the judge in the probate court, buy him, and probate.
Go to the judge in the probate court, buy him. So Mo Ali was simply trying to tell them, under this regime and under this environment now, John Brown, who has plenty of money, can see your land and make an economic determination on the value of it in the next 10, 15 years, right? Go there, grab somebody, maybe the very grantor or somebody from the family that granted you that land or all of you those lands, right? Pay them some money and get copies from them. Go to the probate court, bribe the judge, and the judge will give he or she some sort of rate to go and remove the people. And then they ask the president, say, oh, Mr. President, now the thing the people doing you. Then the president say, y'all go ahead, y'all break their horses. Gonna making new land. The president did not stop, right, to evaluate based on the cries and the concerns of hundreds of his citizens, and to ask the hard questions and demand, and responsible, ethical, transparent dispensation of justice in land-related matters. The president did not interpose any of that, but rather the president says, I endorse whatever I'm seeing. I like to see people who being broken. You're breaking. You know your demarcation? Yeah, go ahead, break it. So, Mr. President, pregnant women there, children there, and they put businesses, like when they're sleeping outside, they say, go on making new land. Break the land and take your land. And you know your demarcation? He say, yeah, I say, go and break it. This is the man. You say, oh, he had compassion, the old man, and the God man, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, how better way can you ever put what the president said? So everything you're going through, these people have been here for years. Ellen came, they tried doing it, and the CDC stood in their throat in the opposition, they could not. And when CDC came to power 6 years, nobody dare go after the poor people. Say you're going to render them homeless. We never heard about that. CDC was building home for the poor people. So how will you go break the people home? The poor are worrying on how to build more home for the people they won't go break. Not under George Weah. So we didn't see that. Even homes that were broken were UP, Ellen, and Joe, right? In Fender and other areas. It took the CDC to come to power and George Weah magnanimity to pay them off. So you see the difference? So when people tell you, say, you voted is what coming after you, they're not mocking you. They're saying the fact to you. You went consciously. You dressed nice. They told you that poo-poo water here. You say, I will get in the poo-poo water. You got in the poo-poo water by yourself and invited this calamity. You did not only stop there. The poo-poo water put everything on you. You say, yeah, okay. You went under the sun. You moved. Some of you became malicious. You say you are protecting your vote. So you protected their vote king. The vote finish coming and the vote go beyond Nigeria man. Say, Nigeria man, how many equal you get? Say 120. Say, go break all the horses. The president. Mr. President, Oga say you won't go break the poor. Say, let Oga go. God, I'm making new land. That means say, So this is where we are. And then their own officials come. They say, all the things we own, all the things we're talking, they are all government here, the probate code, right? They are all government here, the probate code is corrupt. The probate code, that the other people can go, they can know, say, I see your land, I can go and buy your land, I finish buying it, I take it, I carry to the probate code, I bribe the judge, right? Fair like say I bribe the judge will give me paper, I will go and move you from there. The government will support me, the president will support me. Who said that? Mo Ali, a senior stalwart of the Unity Party, and of course, a ranking official of the UP government. Let's bring you back of some of the clips from New Georgia Junction.
This is DNU's online television. The name is George Cooper. We are live here at the New Georgia Junction, where this major demolition exercise is ongoing with huge presence of officers of the Liberian National Police. They are deployed here, well-armed officers of the Liberian National Police are fully deployed here. They are all in arm. They are deployed here.
And the state is always willing to stand with these
major demolition
land grabbers.
It's ongoing. So the name is George Cooper. Keep watching, share the live, make your comments as we bring you this live coverage from the New Georgia Junction. So you see here, family members are now hauling their things. So this is the building that they are about to demolish. So they are asking the resident within this building to get their things out because this is a yellow machine. See there? This is the yellow machine already parked, waiting for the resident to have this place empty so that they can be able to bring down this entire building you are seeing here. This is happening at the New Georgia Junction. So you can see here.
Okay, that New Georgia Junction.
So keep watching. This is where we are. The name is George Cooper, coming to you live from the New Georgia Junction, where this major demolition exercise is ongoing. Several structures have been demolished since the exercise started this morning up to present. The demolition continues with yellow machine breaking down houses belonging to residents of this community who are residing here. And
so when you ask people who are not aware and care less about understanding the intricacies, they say that development. Is that development or discussion? This is not how development happened. We've seen developments. Who told you every attempt to bulldoze people properties means development? Right in Central Monrovia, how many areas did Mo Ali bulldoze? What has he placed there? Hotel Africa, they bulldozed, they broke the place. That was a public land and private land. People laying claim to hundreds of acres. And what is more troubling is the frequency and the way it keeps happening. And what it does is it brings to question the whole atmosphere under which these things are happening. And it looks very coordinated. And we're hearing different narratives from behind the scenes. There is a belief, there is a school of thought, or there is this view out there that these excessive land grab and demolitions and evictions and what have you that's happening is being hugely supported and financed by elements within the government. Government folks will rally resources. They will put it behind one man, and they will tell the man to go, like Mo Ali narrated, and lay claim to huge parcel of land. They will go to the court. And then when the person succeeds in buying the property through the court, when the court turns it over to them, then in the aftermath, these government officials wait. By the time we'll get to know these facts, maybe when the regime finishes, when they're coming back now, then that's when they will go and start demarcating. So you start to see people that are in government now go back and start claiming portions of this very land. So it's like they're buying it and reserving it for them. Then when that time reaches, the argument will be, oh, we bought it from the new owner. No, it's part of the whole plan. So community dwellers, you see these people. So when we tell you that the government doing this thing to you, some of you can still be arguing. You know, you argue from an uninformed position. You can't leg a government at your own disadvantage. That's stupidity. You can't do that, right? So you need to look at these things. That's why the president needed to constitute a kind of panel to look into these land matters, and constituting people from land authority, the court system, and other independent bodies to review these things properly and look at the entire land administration and framework and see what happens, so that, like many are predicting, that if care is not taking this whole land thing, you will just go in one other community and they will not agree. The Maputo resistance and the police have become very interested in the trigger. and then it will turn out chaotic. Is that what you want? Are you careless about people being killed, shot and killed? No. The other perspective is on the matter that most of these things that you see people trying to go around, they lay Wawa claim to large property areas, blah, 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 and stuff, are simply coordinated, utilizing the elitist structure or privileges available to people in certain class by the Unity Party. And that's why it doesn't matter whether you're a Lebanese man or you're a Nigerian man or whatever. Once you wine and dine with the Unity Party, by the way, Abacha is a Unity Party man. It's a good friend, old good friend to former city mayor Mary Bro and other people. Madina Wissa and other people within the United Party. So he is an entrenched UP guy. So he gets whatever he wants in the United Party. That's the same man that they gave the Better Yara Road, that pillar construction, right? Company, you remember that pillar construction thing? They went, they did the road, they squandered the money, they went and did it again, they squandered, nothing came out of it. Nobody is saying you should investigate those ones. Nobody is auditing those people. And these are the same people, after taking state money through failed contracting, they come back, they use the same money, they go after Liberian people land. What kind of country is this? What kind of country? Your own citizens, your own leaders will sell you to foreigners. They will give them fake contracts. These people will not execute the contract. They will take millions and funnel it through these people, give it to them. These people will accumulate millions of your very own country money, right? And then they will turn to some sort of millionaires in the country. They will come back for you now and start grabbing your lands. And then they will use your same code system and they go and use your same police and come after you. Isn't this slavery? Some sort of slavery, some sort of thing that's going on? Where Abacha got money from? Right here. Through what? Unity Party giving him all kind of dubious contracts, some of which he did not even complete, some of which was substandard, some of which wasn't value for money, and he made millions out of the country. So now what does he do? He's grabbing lands, places, buying properties everywhere. You go Johnsonville, you go Gardnersville, you go New Georgia Junction, here, there, yonder, everywhere. He's grabbing land using the same money. But when you tell them, say, empower Liberian businesses, they say no. Unity Party doesn't. A classic example is with the traffic management team. Millions are going to go to Lebanese, to LTM, where Gregory and others will get peanuts. And then after 5-6 years, the Lebanese will get sufficient millions. They will come and use these very millions, go to the court, and take undue properties, locations, and buy them. And the police will use men with guns to go back and enforce it against their own people. Then somebody say that development there. They tell you development in Ghana, that how it happened. Why the Ghanaians compromise their citizens' right and privileges to appease the sentiments of foreigners and aliens. And they go and say, oh, that development, the ones that's going on in Abidjan, in Ivory Coast, even in Conakry, Freetown. You think that what they're doing? You think that how they're doing? Look at in Freetown right here, a barrack. The military in Freetown decided to give out a barrack complex. But have you seen the blueprint? You come to 72nd, go move the people. Go on making new land, move them from there. No blueprint, no design, nobody know what they're going to do, no progressive plan about the place. But somebody still calling that one development. No plan as to what anybody want to do, just land grab. And leave it there, grass will grow there, it become a forest. Then somebody said that's development. But Sierra Leone own a barrack that they're trying to clean, right? They have already identified a company, a private company. The private company has developed a blueprint, right? It's a whole city that's going to be built on behalf of the barracks. People will get stores there. They will get all kinds of things. They will get mini stadium there. People will play. The army will make money from that. Right in Labor, the army will go and break people home, draw barbed wire, take people land, does nothing, and the place sit down there, and then they fold their hand waiting for government to make allotment for them to pull the regular Liberian 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartment on it. They say that development. Oh yeah, but all that development. How well do you even think? How well are your leaders even thinking? They're compromising you every day. And you sit down and say, oh, a development. Is that what you call development? Other people suffer. They build their lives. You come one day, you use yellow machine, you destroy them.
This is happening at New Georgia Junction.
New Georgia Junction. A lady, as we have been told, because the issue became tensional. Like we said, if care is not taken, if the president cannot go back on those comments to reframe his position on this land grab thing in a way that's very responsible, that protects both parties, right? We'll see something more than that. The police has issued no statement on the allegations of firing live bullets and breaking a lady's legs. That's what we heard. We've not been able to independently verify it. But we expect some sort of statement from the police since yesterday to now to tell us exactly what happened. No accountability. No accountability. So we don't care. We put them in the truck, carry them, go stand there. You get about 30 minutes. If they move, you open tear gas. If they resist, you fire. This is bad. Today, you may be jubilating. You say, oh, that development, they own the poor land, let the poor get the poor land. Because probably it is not affecting you. If you see a trend in the society that does not look carefully thought and executed, the onus is upon you to speak out for things to be done the right way. Because you may be celebrating because others are victims today, and you don't know who the next victim will be. We started sounding this thing from the very beginning of all these demolitions. When we were sounding it, people in New Georgia did not think that yesterday was going to be their day. Others in 72nd did not think that it was going to be their day when these demolitions started, right? How you call that place here? Cali Junction area. It left from there. It went somewhere in Cinco where the mosque is, a looking town, right? Hotel Africa and other places. Every time they pop up, people will have defense for it. And the pattern is continuing. Can we have a conversation to understand what is going on? How did Abacha or whoever manage to get all these property that he's laying Waha claims to? And even if you bought the properties, what is the procedure to evict the people? Is it to move in one other morning with armed police and caterpillars, bulldozers, and start breaking homes without any notice? Is that what the law says for the lawyers out there? Is that what the law requires? I thought some sort of notice is supposed to be served. How do you win a court case against people who were not even put in the know of a court proceeding or a dispute about the property they live in? Because we listen to the accounts, right? We listen to the voices of the people. Completely shocked. They say, but we know about it. We even know who get it. We do not even know who are the owners and who are the people that we are up against. We were never served notice. We are not aware. We were not cited. Nothing. But yet, we are seeing machines here and nobody's talking to us. Somebody said it was a default judgment. Even if it is a default judgment, thought is supposed to be rendered with our acquiescence or our knowledge of the case. Like we know about it, but then we deliberately refuse to turn out on every citation. But nothing like that. And we are not focusing our conversation mostly on the legality or the ownership or the entitlement, and of course, of these lands and what have you. These are whole conversation that needs to be unpacked in a very special way. But our attention is drawn to the wave of displacement as a result of that. Should the country keep going that way with this, wave of displacement? You go to Satan, you run up on homeless, right? Even in this crisis, I'm told the lawmaker has and built and was operating a children clinic, kids clinic, right? According to the narrative, that he bought that piece of land from GT Bank. I think maybe GT Bank acquired to some kind of, book and take loan and stuff, the default and something. So GT Bank was his grantor. But then another party went to court and wanted that, meaning that GT Bank is not the actual owner. So that party came and less about the human side of it, went ahead, right? Let me show you. Let me show you the video so you will see. Children's Hospital, and see how they were thrown outside on the street. You see, hospital bed, syringes,
from wheresoever you're watching us from.
Please help share this everything. So you can imagine sick babies were taken off the hospital beds and they put everything outside.
So
could this even be politically motivated? I don't know. But all these evictions and demolitions that's going on in the country, why are all these things going on? And somebody will be there arguing, but that the people land and something. So aren't there procedure that needs to be followed to do these things so that it will reduce the level of insensitivity and, of course, heartless execution of these ruthless court mandates. At 6 p.m. in Cinco, one of Monrovia's most, picture square neighborhoods, traffic flows calmly past the Monrovia City Hall and the towering Palm African Plaza, now known as the UN House, one UN House. The area appears serene, polished, and orderly. But just a few blocks away on 4th and 5th Streets, the scene is starkly different. Women and children displaced from Satan are sleeping on bare porches, and in the open air, their mattresses spread under the sky. After a January 31 demolition left hundreds homeless, the demolition followed a court eviction order in favor of a private landowner, bringing bulldozers and front-end loaders into a community many residents say they have occupied since the 1970s and 80s. Today, rubble replaces homes, zinc sheets, broken furniture, and salvaged belongings lie scattered across what was once a tight-knit neighborhood. Mosquitoes are eating us up, says Among the displaced is Ma Madeline Waller, who says she has lived in Satan for decades. I built on this land and lived here for so many years. They broke my house down, she said in tears. I have sugar and pressure. When the demolition happened, I went off. When I regained consciousness, I was told not to go back inside. I took nothing. Now, she and her sick husband sleep outdoors in the streets, the mosquitoes, exposed to criminal danger. Mosquitoes are eating us up. The cold is too much. This is not life. We have nowhere to go. Wallet said that the destroyed home was their only source of income. They rented out rooms to tenants, using proceeds to support her 16-year-old granddaughter's education, now in 11th grade. The child has dropped out due to unpaid school fees. We lost everything, she said. Life is too bad for us. Elderly, sick, and stranded. Margaret S. Jalla, who spent 16 years in the community, described the demolition as sudden and devastating. The sheriff came and gave us people to get out. We were confused and took nothing, she said. We sleep outside here, no food to eat. I cry many days. Jalla, who says she suffers from high blood pressure and cholesterol, fears for her life or health. I am an elderly woman. I don't have anywhere to go. Rats and mosquitoes are crawling over us at night. Let a destiny helper come and take me from this suffering. She said she had been paying US $50 monthly rent and had settled her dues before the demolition. Disputed ownership. The demolition was carried out following a court ruling in favor of businessman Eric F. Nangbe, whom residents accused of illegally acquiring the land. Allegation he has denied. Nangbe maintains that he legally purchased the property in 2017 from family factions claiming ownership. Residents, however, argued that many of them bought or inherited their properties decades ago and questioned the legitimacy of these. They say only surfaced in 2011. While the legal battle continues, the humanitarian consequences are already severe. Children out of school. For many mothers, the greatest fear is not just homelessness, but the future of their children. Justina Kanua, a mother of 3, aged 10, 8, and 4, says both her home and her children's school were demolished. My children are not in school, nowhere to sleep. Their father abandoned us, no one to help, she said. Walita Robertson, a teacher who inherited her family home, purchased by her grandmother in 1980, and she now faces starting over. My children were in 9th and 8th grades. The demolition put them out of school. In the day, we manage. But when night comes, we are worried. Nowhere to sleep. Deconti Waller, who sold water and dry goods to survive, said she lost her business and home in one day. I pay my rent in November, $30 a month. We were not told ahead of time. It happened abruptly, she said. She has temporarily sent her children to stay with a friend on Old Road, but fears they may soon be asked to leave. If I can get any help, I can add it and find a place to move. Unfulfilled promises. In the immediate aftermath, District Number 8 Representative Prince Tool and a Unity Party candidate or lawmaker, Prince Tool, announced that more than LD 3.5 million have been secured to provide relief while a verification process was conducted. We are deeply saddened by what has happened and we continue to seek additional support for our citizens, he said at the time. However, several victims interviewed say they have yet to receive any assistance. If we had received help, we wouldn't be here like this, says Iye Kaba. 0776 104 104 086 500 104. 5 minutes to go. Let's take 4-5 calls and then we'll be out of here. This is just a snippet of the dire humanitarian disaster and distress and frustration that these demolitions are causing for families across Monrovia. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning. This is
Go ahead.
Abu, this is frustrating that our country is going this way. We have to pray to Almighty Allah to sustain Nigeria because at this time the country is completely fragile. The security state because the country is very much fragile because when it starts making people it's a security matter. So we have to pray to Almighty Allah for Allah to intervene in our situation because the thing happening here is very much frustrating. Very frustrating. People don't got places to sleep. People don't got home being shot. The government is going on the boss giving people a document to come in.
Oh, Ismail Titigbedi, we lost you. Let's take Edmond. Edmond, quickly, 30 seconds.
Thank you. You know, the president dashed the hope of the Liberian people. And frustratingly, some of the people that supported are quite discouraging and disappointing. Because the level of demolition that are going on in this country is quite frustrating and unbelievable. You know what I mean? In a kind of struggling and difficult economy we live in, you have your shop, you have your house, you have your place to live, your house is broken down, your shop is broken down, you're left with nothing to live with. But we hope that one of these days it get better. We are in prayer with them. We encourage those that are a little bit financially strong. You can rent one room for somebody. You can rent 0 room for somebody. It can be or have the Moses Akara's great day to rent for 1 year for that lady that was feeding for people under the moonlight in the rebels. We pray that other people will join in to help our people because we need them. For you to win the election 2029, you need the people. And the only way we can do that is to attract them to us with our action. Okay. Thank you, Abu.
Thank you very much. That's what it is. But the people are out there sleeping in the street, mosquitoes, rats, and everything. Good morning.
I did the right of Gibraltar. I'm just mine according from my own destination. I'm scared to get my location before they can break my house. Look, Abu. Look, the country is kind of more sorrowful nowadays. Look, you cannot even know that they go Ghana and say they even one lad, they didn't get one lad there for Ghana man to go against a friend Ghana man. Like I said, you know national upon Ghana man. But this is a country that Nigeria man all the way from Nigeria, Georgia, all the way to Jamaica. Can you imagine? And you cutting like.
Okay, let's take this on the WhatsApp. Time is up. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. This is Mr. Jai again from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Go ahead, Mr. Jai.
Abu, I want the Liberian people to please listen to me if you're listening. There was never an expectation of better hope than what President Weah was giving the Liberian people. For them to say, oh, we expected, Joseph Barker, there was never expectation.
Absolutely.
You guys told these people. No, I don't know who expected Joseph Barker to do better than
we provided all the education. Anything you see happening, yes, we told you wickedness will be there. We told you tribalism will be there. Division, hatred. We told you all that.
Exactly so. So for them to keep saying, oh, we expect that. Why? Why you expected from somebody who had 12 years and did nothing for themselves? Pay attention to that. Now, there's a chance again. You have to go through this. We keep saying it. It's sad. It's going to be tough. like the men of God from Nigeria said, but Liberians will have to go through it for another 3 years.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me I don't know, Gus, I'm sorry about my hand. I touched the thing and time is up. So folks, that's it. That's all the time we get. I mean, we can keep talking about this. We don't know, maybe tomorrow there will be somewhere else that they're going to be demolishing, and then the bootleggers will be around to give to heap praises on these insensitive and of course irresponsible leadership actions by an old man who generally was an accomplice and of course unfulfilled. And imagine after 12 years had to be sending out SOS for survivors, and then you give him the country. I mean, no other where in the world that people would do that. Absolutely not even in Sierra Leone. Now anybody, I mean, you give the leadership of the country to the best of the best, not beggars. You don't take beggars and make them. Well, without any due respect, but at the end of the day, once people prove that they cannot take care of themselves, what's the guarantee that they can take care of a whole country? Right? That's exactly where we were. But we gotta go. And until we see you tomorrow, do have yourself a wonderful time. Bye-bye.
What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you killing our children. They are freedom